Hey, this is our life. Thank you for coming in, boo. Hey, Dutel. Hey, Courtney. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on. StreamYard is acting up on me, y'all. It wasn't pulling up anything. Hey, Tiara. Thank you for coming in. Hey, Leoma. Hey, Twin. Hey, Woo. So I don't know how long y'all been in here, but um it wasn't showing me anything. All of a sudden, everything just popped up. So, hey, everybody. I'm sorry for the delay. It's still not even allowing me to pull it up from YouTube. Okay, there we go. Well, how's everybody doing tonight on this Tuesday? I hope everyone has been having a great day. Um, I'm still trying to get all of my stuff pulled up so that I can make sure I see everybody. I had to kind of close it out and pull it back up. So I apologize for that delay. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Bambi. Thank you for coming in, lovely Oma. All right, y'all. Well, I definitely want to thank y'all for coming in. Again, like I said, I hope everyone has had a great start to the week. We're going to get into this conversation tonight. I know I saw that this is our life, said this is definitely a great question because I be needing closure. Then when I get it, it don't be what I want, or better yet, not what I thought it would be. Now, and that's it right there. This is our life. So we definitely gonna get into that, y'all. Um, but if y'all can, just tell me. I always like to ask what y'all did for yourselves today to make you feel good, to make you smile. What did you do? Just take some time out for you today. Not what you did for the kids, but what did you do to make you feel good? Thank you, Keto, for sharing me out, boo. I appreciate that, love. I don't see you in the chat yet, but I do see that you share me out. So thank you, love. Well, for me, y'all, it's just today. Um, really, I really didn't do a lot. I did get a lot of rest today. Evidently, I must have needed it because I've been knocked out off and on all day, like really, literally all day. So Leoma says I worked out. Okay, Leoma, trying to get right. Okay, boo. Look, I ain't mad at you. I need to be trying to do the same thing. Definitely trying to do the same thing. Well, that's good. Desandra said I got out and took me a long walk. And that's good. I mean, a lot of times on those walks, you get to breathe, get away from everybody. It's a good way to clear your head, and just have that moment to yourself. And that's good. Thank you. This is our life for sharing me out, love. I appreciate it. Now, y'all, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of like set this tone, right, for this topic. Now, I want to make sure that y'all are aware that even though we got some people that joke around and like to call me Dr. Love, I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. I'm just a woman, like all of you, who've been through things, who've seen things, heard things, experienced things, and we're gonna come together this evening to discuss this topic, share our experiences, maybe help each other out on what we can do going forward on this particular topic, because um it's definitely y'all something that some of us need, some of us don't need it, some of us think that we need it, and in some cases we really don't. Thank you, Desandra. I appreciate it. And Twin, no, ma'am. No, I did not. No, I did not. Look, I'll figure that thing out in a little bit. But I appreciate you, Desandra. So, y'all, what I do want to ask that you do is be vulnerable tonight with yourself. You don't necessarily have to put all your business in the chat or anything like that. I'm definitely not asking for that. But I do I do want you to take this opportunity to be open with yourself and honest and not lie to yourself, because a lot of times when we discuss things like this, we we still lie to ourselves, and you're the most important person that you need to, be honest with. Not me, not your family, not your friends, your spouse, or your kids, but you got to be honest with yourself first, right? And then that's how we start the process of healing, the process of growth. Hey, Ariel, thank you for coming in, love. The process of growth. You can't do any of that stuff and do it successfully without being honest with yourself. So we may have a moment or two where, we may bring up some stuff that may make you uncomfortable, because we are talking about closure. And it may make you think of some things that you have not received closure on. Now, if it triggers you anyway, I apologize. That is not my intent. If you need to step away for a moment, I say do that. Okay, y'all. Now, when it comes down to, as a matter of fact, give me 1 second, y'all, because my twin over here fussing at me because I hadn't shared myself out yet. So let's see how we do this here. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for for your patience. Look, I just threw that out there. Hey, S. Collins. Hey, Velvet. Thank you for coming in, boo. And thank you, Twin, for dropping that topic. So again, tonight's topic is closure. Why do some of us need it? And really, do we need it, y'all? So when it comes to closure, closure isn't just about um, romantic relationships. Closure can be about family members. It can be about friends. It can be about your children. It can be about coworkers, neighbors, your job. It can also be surrounding, people that you may have, family members or friends that you may have lost who passed away. Sometimes we get closure, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we think that we need it to move forward. And that's what I really want to discuss with y'all. So let me ask y'all this. How many of y'all have been in situations where you felt like you just needed closure? I mean, I know I have been in situations like that where I felt like, there was no way that I could move on. I just needed closure. Like there may have been a moment where, me and somebody may have broken up. And I just felt like there was no possible way that, what I'm saying, I could move on without it. Without that closure, I needed answers. I needed to know why things didn't work out. Now, Velvet says, I'm really strange because I don't need it. Once it's over in most situations. And that's true. But in some cases, and that's the thing, some of us, a lot of us, feel like we need it. And my thing is, why do we feel that we need it? I mean, I think like for me, in the past, I've always felt like getting closure was a better way of, me understanding what all went wrong and, you know, why things didn't work out. Well, maybe I get a chance to express my feelings about the situation or find out, what that other person was thinking. This is our life said, I'm in a situation like that. Hold up, I'm sorry. I'm in a situation like that right now. And no matter who I talk to or how many spiritual readings I get, it's still in my head. Sheesh. And see, the thing about that is, this is our life. I think for me, in my personal experiences, I've had moments where I wanted closure and I needed closure. And no matter, like you said, no matter who you talk to or what kind of spiritual readings you get, you just can't get it. It's still in your head. And that's because you're looking for this type of closure to take away some type of pain that you're feeling. And truthfully, it may not be a way for for anyone else to help you with that closure. Sometimes that closure is just specifically something you have to do. It's within you. A lot of us think we need closure. We need that other person to help validate our feelings or make it better, ease the pain. When in reality, in that particular situation, no one can help us but us. So, in this particular case, I would ask you to think about that. What is it that you're looking for when you go seeking for closure? When you're asking questions, what exactly are you wanting to receive from them? So this is how I said. Well, let me go back and read some more comments. Velvet says, "I believe so many needed just to make sure it wasn't them." Um, Miss Andra said, "I feel that way because I was I was with I was with this youth for 16 years and didn't get the closure." Okay, and then this is our life said, "So the mother of my husband son passed away, and her and I grew so close, and she passed. I just can't get over it. So hearing you say this hit the nail on the head for me." And this is our life. Um, Dealing with death can be hard because, and I'm not trying to do a tick for tat thing with you because that's your situation, and I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. I really am. Um, and again, I'm not trying to take your story and mix it with mine or compare it to mine, but this is the only way that I know that I can relate to what you're saying. Um, but when my daughter passed, it was hard for me to relate. Hey, B Charmer, thank you for coming in, love. But when I had a hard time trying to understand why that happened, and getting over that. Now I know you said you've done a lot of um spiritual readings, um but in sometimes it just takes time. Healing takes time. If there were things that you felt that you didn't get a chance to say, more than likely the people or the person that you're missing, they know how you felt. um they loved you too. More than likely, if there were things that you regretted saying, or things that you didn't get a chance to apologize for saying or doing, more than likely they probably forgave you and you didn't know it, and they were too stubborn to tell you. Um, so with that being said, what I would really um, ask that you do is reflect on the relationship that you had with them. Hey, Tanira, reflect on the relationship that you had with them. Um, why is it that um, why is it that you still need that closure? What is it about the loss of them that's making your heart? Death is a very sensitive thing. And it's very specific to each one of us because we all deal with it differently. And that's why I said in this particular life, you have to be open and honest with yourself. And it's going to make you uncomfortable. Okay, so you don't have to be honest with us. Hey, Vicky, but you do have to be honest with yourself. And Tanira, I've only been live for about 20 minutes, love. So I am going to ask that you do that. Take some time to think about what it is that you need or that you're missing from them. Is it something that you're afraid of? Because sometimes it could be that you're afraid of going on without them or afraid of forgetting them. So you have to dig deep and again, be honest because no one can give you that closure that you're looking for. Um, you really have to dig deep on that one. You really have to dig deep on that one. But I can tell you that you may not get it immediately. You may not get it immediately. It may take years. It takes time. And don't be on anyone else's time but your own. If you need to cry, cry. Missing those who have moved on, that is nothing wrong with that. That's nothing odd. That's nothing out of this world. It happens. It's part of the grieving process. It's also one of the things that God gives us memories to help us move forward. But I am going to ask that you sit down and think to yourself exactly what it is that you didn't get a chance to say, do. Um, what is it that has you holding on? Okay. And then once you think of that, then that can help you um, start to figure out what steps you need to take moving forward to start that healing process. And if push comes to shove, a lot of times we don't want to, but you do have to. We do have to do therapy. Group therapy can help. One-on-one sessions can help. They have it now where you can call. You don't even have to go in. So if even if it takes longer than that, you know, those are options. So this is our life. Says sorry to hear about your baby. Yes, this is different because people think the wife and mother of a child is supposed to be. But I love that lady. So thank you for listening and the advice. Absolutely, this is our life. Absolutely, love. Just remember, take your time. And again, it's on no one else's time but your own. And Velvet, you know, made a suggestion about write a letter to her on everything you want to say, then tear it up, burn it. It might help a lot to see it and let it out. That's definitely a great suggestion. I've recommended that to folks before myself. I've done that before. So yeah, definitely try that. But animal lover, no, we're not just talking about closure for those who have passed on. This is closure for any type of relationship. Romantic relationship, friends, family members, people you've cut off, people who walked away from you. But that was the situation. That's what this is our life is currently dealing with. So thank you, Velvet, for your input, love. Now, when it comes down to relationships with closure, sometimes I know with like, you dating somebody and boom, all of a sudden y'all break up or they decide they want to move on, and they, I don't know, they ghost you, or all of a sudden the relationship is not, not working out for them, but it's working for you. You know what I'm saying? Everything is good for you. You you're happy. You all happy and writing hearts and stuff with your names all on it, all on books and napkins and cups and whatever else. And then all of a sudden, this person just like, look, this ain't working. Hey, Destiny, thank you for coming in, boo. And then all of a sudden they holler, this ain't working. Or they tell you, well, I found somebody else that I'm in love with, and I'm gonna go be with them. Okay, Vicky, thank you, boo. So, how do you receive closure from that? Well, a lot of times we be like, hey, well, this person want to break up with me. They want to move on. That's fine. That's fine. They can move on. But guess what? That hurts, right? You know what I'm saying? That hurts your feelings. You like, well, I've been a good woman to you. I've been loyal to you. You know, I was a perfect girlfriend. I was a perfect wife. Why all of a sudden you want to walk away from me? Now you want to talk to this person to find out, what was it about you that they didn't find good enough? Or what happened? What went wrong? Because as far as you were concerned, they were happy, you were happy, and then all of a sudden they woke up one day and all of their feelings were gone. Now, the thing about that is you can ask for closure. You can ask for it all you want. But sometimes that person, one, they may not want to give you closure. You ever had somebody that was just stubborn? They didn't want to talk to you? Or they weren't the type to talk at all, period. Sometimes people just don't want to talk. They're just done. Or sometimes people don't have the they don't have the heart to say it. So give me 1 second, y'all. I'm about to do something here. Now y'all can keep discussing it in the chat, but give me 1 second. And for everyone that's in the chat that I have not spoken to yet, I want to say thank you for coming in. Hey, babe, what's going on? Thank you for coming in, love. All right, y'all. Spectrum giving me a hard time, so I apologize. Let me know if I cut out by dropping it in the chat, y'all. Because Spectrum is giving me a hard time. But I am going to drop the link in the chat. So if you want to get up here and you want to say something, then I am making this panel available. If you do want to have something that you want to get off your chest and say really fast or whatever. But this is an open dialogue, okay, y'all? So if you got something you want to say or anything, I would love for y'all to come up here and give your honest opinion and join me. Yeah, I know I don't offer my panel often, but I would love to hear some of your opinions. All right, so let me go in and read some of the stuff in the chat that I missed. All right, so Laura said, I waited over 20 years to get closure from someone I dated in high school. Tanira says, but you don't always get it. Wayne said, some things aren't for discussion. And Sonia said, I'm the stubborn one. Don't have nothing to talk about. Wayne says, I'm sparing your feelings, but silently walking away. Velvet says, see now, to those who need closure, say you get it and you don't feel no better. Then what do? Sometimes closure is ending and moving on. Tanir says, but silently walking away could hurt worse than just saying what the person did wrong. This is true. Tanir says, then they are left with their own reasoning, which could lead to insecurities coming out that had nothing to do with the breakup. That is true. They know what they did was wrong. Ain't no need to talk. That's true. Tanir, the person might not have done anything. That person just don't want the relationship anymore. Now, and a lot of stuff in this chat. I see this conversation is going. I don't even know if y'all need me to talk. Shoot, y'all. Good night. This is our life, and definitely feel free to reach out to me, love. Definitely feel free to reach out to me if need be. Sonia said that may be one thing to me. However, in my past situation, they know what they did wrong, so ain't no discussion to be had, and that's true. Hey, Janice, thank you for coming in. And I mean, that's really the truth, though, y'all. Sometimes, trying to force a conversation can make things worse. You want closure, and a lot of times we want closure to make us feel better about the situation. You're only going to that person. This person left you, right? The same person who left you, who hurt you or decided you weren't what they needed. You're going to them hoping that they can make you feel better about the situation. And 9 times out of 10, what they're going to tell you is everything about you that they didn't like or didn't want or didn't work out for them. And that can hurt you. But the thing about it is, you don't go to them necessarily for closure in that instance, because right then you're looking for validation, and you don't find validation in them. If a person decides you're not good for them or you're not right for them, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. That simply means you weren't right for them. So I can understand wanting to know what went wrong. I get that. I've been there before, because I'm one of those people who, try to understand why things went the way they went. But I also understand too that sometimes you can go looking for something and may not like what you find. So be ready. Be ready. Be ready for whatever may come. So don't go out there asking questions and then they tell you some shit you don't want to hear, and then your feelings hurt, because you run that risk when you put your feelings and your self-worth into someone else's hands, because truthfully, that's what's happening. Now, Wayne says, I'm not the type that requires closure, whether it's a job, breakup, death, hell, even a really, even a lace front. Okay, it hurts you, but in the end, does it give you something to work on and consider for your next relationship? I'll be okay. Oh, goodness, not the lace front, Lord. Petty at its finest, right, y'all? But that's serious, though. Sometimes we want it. We really do want it. But do we need it? Do we really need it? Do y'all need that lace front? Sometimes y'all need to let that thing go. Some folks be reaching for it, and I'm like, sis, that ain't it. No. Thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Thank you. But sometimes you need to let that thing go. And you need to actually look within yourself. Tonya says, folks really don't want to know what I got to say, so it's better left unsaid. And that's true. Some people think they want to know, and some people really want to know. And then when you tell them, they want to fight. You know what I'm saying? They want to fight because now you done hurt their damn feelings. So, I mean, my thing is, you better look on the inside. Look to yourself. Why is it that you want to go to this person? There is no way, and they're a person who didn't see my worth. I can't go to you and, ask you for closure. Basically what you're doing is you're saying, why wasn't I worthy enough? What? You are worthy. You are a good woman. You are a good man. You are fine enough. You are strong enough. You are soft enough. You are beautiful enough. You just weren't made for them. You're perfect for somebody else, just not for them. Twin, put them damn machetes up. Always pulling out machetes. Talking about we can fight. Now that's like, honestly, y'all ever kept pushing somebody for something or trying to push someone to talk, and then all of a sudden they get hostile? I mean, you better listen to the signs. I mean, I've been in that situation. And that's true. Wayne says, or they were not ready for you. And that's true. Sometimes people just aren't where you are in life. Hey, Miriam, thank you for coming in, boo. But that's the truth. Some people just aren't where you are in life, and you want them to be. Sometimes you want people to be mature enough to have a conversation, and they just aren't. Period. They can't have that conversation. Exactly, Tanir. Tanir says, or they ain't ready for anyone because they have to work on themselves first. That part. That part. Sometimes we out here expecting, big things from people who mind not even mindset, not even on that. Like for real. Hey TR, thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, y'all, sometimes people just aren't equipped to handle that. Sometimes people are, they still growing, they still, in the streets, being wild. You may be ready for a real relationship. You're ready to settle down. You done running in the streets, playing around. And then, boom, you run into Boo Boo the fool right here. And they still playing games. They can't handle what you're ready for. But you thinking, they are, because guess what? They're playing the game. They talk a good game because they're playing the game, and you fall in the trap. Hey, Shamani Boo, thank you for coming in. So because they're talking a good game, you fall into the trap, and then boom, once they're done playing with you and your feelings, they're gone. And you like, hold up, where you going? I thought this was something, you know, something we was about to make something. We were about to get married and have this old nice house and all this other stuff. And then you find out the whole time they were playing games. And now you in your feelings because you're like, well, what was it about me? Well, I wasn't, good enough or whatever for them to be serious. But it wasn't you, it was them. Now, in this particular case, then you turn to yourself and then you get mad at yourself. Hey, Mug, hey D, thank you for coming in, boo. Then you get mad at yourself because you're like, well, damn, here it is. I've wasted X amount of time on this food. So guess what? Now you got to look to yourself to find that closure, right? You're thinking you got to find closure with them, understand why is it that they weren't ready when it was never them. It was you. You allowed yourself, to go through that. So guess what? Now that you realize that they were on the bullshit, look, you need to pull it back. So let me read some of these comments. I know we got a lot of folks saying, hey, but Lord says, or they just say it isn't you, it's me. I don't believe that for 1 second. Now, Lord, sometimes it is them. Sometimes it is. You may not want to hear that because it's so, it sounds so cliche and all of this stuff. But sometimes it is just flat out them. So, I mean, they tell you that sometimes you may want to listen. Let me go down and see what else we got. Leoma says, my bonus son, baby mama, who is 21, got kicked out. And I let her stay with me a few days. I'm sorry, excuse me, a few days later, she told me she'd rather stay in the shelter with a 6-month-old baby. The next day, she started texting and calling me out my name. Wait a minute now. No, Leon, I don't know what that was about. And we're going to come back to that. Wayne says, it was you giving your all to someone, right? Essence says, all I can say is, I'm a great woman. It's their loss. They'll never find someone else like me, period. I mean, and that's just what it is. And that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? No one is going to be like you. I don't care how many times people say it's a million of you out there in the world. That's a goddamn lie. There's only one Tamira. There's only one Courtney out there. There's only one Miriam. Only one D. Levon. Only one Wings. Only one Shin DC. You are you. That's it. That's it. Now, Destiny says, I read this article that said closure is necessary for a person's healing. It referenced it to closure being like a band-aid. Sometimes you need it, and at times you don't. But see, closure, Destiny, can come. See, that's the thing about closure. You can get closure, but see, sometimes people go looking for closure in other people. And sometimes the only closure you need is yourself. Sometimes you just have to forgive you. Sometimes you just have to forgive yourself for allowing yourself to stick around for the bullshit, for allowing yourself, to go through this. Sometimes you are a broken person and you lash out at people. I know recently, I went through some stuff where I was like depressed and I was mean as hell. I was mean. I was selfish. I couldn't think clearly. I couldn't see past myself. And I was an asshole. Once I came out of that fog, I had to forgive myself. I asked other people to forgive me, and I expected them to forgive me just because, guess what? Oh, I'm no longer feeling like this, so you got to forgive me. But that wasn't the case. I still had to respect their experience of the BS that I took them through, but I had to be able to forgive myself first for, you know, for being that way, for being that person. How can you expect others to forgive you and you can't forgive yourself? Closure starts with you. Healing starts with you. When it's time to heal, when you got to forgive someone for what they've done to you, that healing, you forgiving them don't start with them, because sometimes you may go to them for an apology that you may never get. So that closure goes right back to you. Leoma says, yeah, I think that was her personality. She was putting anger off on me instead of off on her mom. And sometimes that's just what happens. Hey, Dree, thank you for coming in, love. And that's sometimes just what it is redirected pain. It's redirected pain. Sometimes people go through stuff, they're feeling stuff. They don't know, they don't know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with it. So you lash out at people. Like they say, hurt people hurt people. And when you're hurt, and that's the thing too about closure. When you don't get closure from certain things and you walk around with an open wound, you bleed on other people. You bleed on other people. You do. And you leave a trail of blood and mess behind. So you do have to take care of you. We do need closure, but we don't need it from other people all the time. not like we think we do. Now, it's good to, be able to resolve an issue and come to an agreement, or, clear the air between people. But in order for you to continue to live your life and be a strong woman, be a strong man, and stand in your truth and who you are, you got to be able to give closure to yourself, because you may not always get it from those other people. Now let me read some of these comments in the chat here. So let's see. Dree said, or get an apology that's really for their purposes. Velvet says, I was just thinking that the best person to give you closure is you. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, Velvet. Exactly. I'm the only one in control of my feelings and happiness. And people don't realize that. Y'all don't realize that. I'm not gonna say y'all, but it's a lot of people that don't realize that you give your power to other people. You give it. They can't take it. You give it, right? Wayne says, closure or not, I'm gonna continue to be great. And everybody has to get to that point. We have to stop looking for other people to give that to us. We have to stop looking for other people to give that to us. And we got to start looking at ourselves, y'all. I mean, I know it's easier said than done. Because, and I'm going to tell y'all this. In closure, a lot of times, y'all, we want to blame other people. Sometimes it is you. Sometimes you are the asshole in the situation. And the person that walked away because they were tired of your bullshit. Can you be honest enough with yourself to say, I was an asshole? Can you be honest enough with yourself to say, I was going through a lot during that time period, and I can admit I wasn't the best person? Can you admit that to yourself? Because with closure comes healing and comes growth. But remember when I said in the very beginning of this chat, you got to be honest with yourself. And Dree says self-evaluation and self-worth. All of that gets tied into that. Can you look yourself in the mirror and say that you were, 100% real? Were you 100% honest? What mistakes did you make? Accountability. Because sometimes it's not just them. Sometimes it's you too. No, Bambi says I fell out of the bushes and bumped my head. Well, I hope you caught some. Hope you heard some of this stuff. Because look, y'all, this for all of us, right? Because we are not perfect. I know I've been the bitch in the situation. I know I've also been the sweetheart in the situation. I know I've also been the person where we go tick for tack. And you can't be like that. You know what I'm saying? We can't be like that. But sometimes we are. We just are. We just are. So let me see here. Now let me ask y'all this. Now I know we're talking about like situations. Okay, let me see. Velvet said in the chat. Well, hold up. Leoma said first. I can be honest with my part in any situation all the time. Velvet says, man, y'all been and spent a lifetime trying to get closure and the other person living their best life. Facts. Facts all day, Velvet. For real. You over there worried about them and what the hell they got going on. Oh, God. So Wings in here lying to herself, saying that, oh, it's never my fault. I'm the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Okay, boo. You right, babe. You are. You the best. You are. Now, Laura said, sometimes I think to myself, well, damn, if I wasn't good enough for them, then I'm not good enough for anyone. And see, again, Laura, it's not about you being good enough for them. They don't determine your self-worth. They don't determine that, you do. Some people can't handle you. Some people aren't equipped to handle you. Some people aren't meant to be in your life. Period. Some people aren't meant to be in your life. And so if they think you aren't good enough, that's the excuse that they told themselves to make themselves feel good about walking away. You don't have to receive that. So, Laura, if that's what they said or what how they felt, that's on them. Don't you own that? I'm not gonna own your bullshit about me, your thoughts about me, your opinions about me, or just that, your opinion. And it don't make it a fact. It doesn't make it a fact. Now, Dree says, I used to be quick to cut a person off. I had to learn to look at intent, motives, and reactions. That is very true. That is very true because at the same time, we we react to certain things too. People say stuff to us, do stuff to us, and we react. You know, sometimes we react without thinking. You know what I'm saying? So you have to think about yourself too and where you're coming from. Laura says, no one must be able to handle me. Now, Laura, what do you mean by that? Damon says, that's a good one. I refuse to force feed myself to anyone. Talk about it. Now, Anna Love, I'm gonna tell you like this. You said I must not be, no, you said no one must be able to handle me. It's about you being satisfied with you loving you. And the thing about it is, you say everyone walks away because I tell them the truth. Now, keep in mind that your truth is your truth. So your truth may not necessarily be their truth. And your delivery is everything. So you have to consider that there are people too, they have feelings too. And are you considering their feelings? Are you considering that your truth may just be an opinion to them? Just like their truth of you is just their opinion. So you do have to consider all of those things. All of that has to be considered. The other says some folks come into your life for one reason, to tear you down, destroy your dreams and destiny. So you have to be self-assured at all times. That is true. Dree, Dree said, Animal, talking to Laura, I felt that way till I met my husband. It's been 8 years. Shamani says, okay, hold up, she's speaking. When he says people come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Thanks, babe. Dree says, Animal, what about your delivery? A message can get lost in mess. Muck says, I had to learn the hard way. Everything doesn't need to be said. That is true. That's very true. When he said you may want someone to fall into a certain category that they weren't made for, and that's true. What up, 50? What's up? What up, bro? Thank you for coming in. Look, I'm still get you on my panel now. So look, make sure you link up with me on IG so we can do that, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all connect with Silk 50 right there in the chat. Now that brother has a lot of insight. So I'm gonna bring him over here one day so we can get a conversation, a little dialogue going back and forth. Now Laura says, I've been with my husband for over 20 years and still feel unworthy. Now, Laura, babe, you really gotta stop looking on the outside of you for worth. Because what I keep hearing from you over and over and over. And I'm saying, when I say keep hearing, it's because we've been around each other a very long time. And I'm going to be honest with you. You look outside a lot for validation. And you haven't found it yet because no one can validate you but you. You have to figure out what it is that makes you happy, what it is that makes you smile. Learn to love on you. Also, take into consideration some of the things that have been said in the chat as well. Like Muck said, she had to learn not everything needs to be said. So sometimes, you have opinion of other people and, how you think they should move or what you think about them. Sometimes just keep it to yourself because some people can't handle the truth. B. Trauma says it's not always about understanding reason or the lesson from a person, but rather the understanding reason and lesson from God about any situation. That is the God honest truth, B. Trauma. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that. It's about the lesson from God, and that is the truth. And most times that's what it is. A lot of times we're dealing with people and situations. Okay, Wings. We're dealing with people and situations, and it's you come across these people to learn a lesson. They're meant to teach you something and not to stick around. And what happens is we give them more work. Let me not say it like this. We give them more value or we give them more power than what they're supposed to have. Some people are just passing by. They're not meant to stay. And that goes for family members. That goes for friends, neighbors, co-workers. Now, Vicky says, Lord, tell yourself you're worthy. Velva says, I'm a lover by home standards. Are you judging yourself? And why are you the one that's not worthy? Dree says, sometimes the lesson isn't for you. It may be for the other person. It sucks how you eventually be the other person. Now, Dree, I can understand where you're coming from with that, but I believe every interaction that you have with the person, you get something from it. You may not get the same thing that other person get from it, but you gain something from it. There has never been an interaction that any of you had, that any of us have had, where we didn't learn something from it or receive something from it. Whether it was, it may not have had a huge effect on us the way it did the other person, but it opened our eyes to a situation. It gave us an experience. It allowed us to see someone else's experience. Because sometimes, even like us being in this chat right now, there are some things other people are experiencing that we have never experienced. But because we're in their presence and we're reading this chat right now, we're learning from them. Period. It's not your story. It's not your problem, but you're learning. So every interaction that you have, you're going to take something away from it. It's greater. Now, Dre, I definitely agree with that. You say you may not get it at that time. That's true. You may not understand it at that time. And that's the thing about closure. You may not get it right then. You may not get it until years later. I mean, and that's the truth. You may not get it until years later. But guess what? It's between the moment that situation happened and the day that you get that closure, you still have to manage to live your life. Now Vicky says, right, Bill, but that's why I told her to claim it for herself. Laura says, I struggle because I've been told I was worthless my whole life. Now, Laura, now you get to change the narrative, as D. Lavon would say. You get to change that because they told you that. And just because they said it doesn't make it true. Who told them that their opinion mattered? And B. Charmer just hit the nail on the head. You struggle because you believed what they said. Vicky said, Lord, that's because of those persons' insecurities of their own. Don't let no one steal your joy. Delbert said, look at the sources of the judgment. I mean, really look at them. Their ish ain't gold and definitely not perfect. And sometimes people we love and respect or have authority in our lives are the ones that tell us these things. And so we believe them. But what you got to remember is those same people that are saying that are hurt and broken people. Laura says, my parents would tell me my whole life been saying it since I was 5. Now, see, what you got to remember, Laura, is those parents, your parents, are people too. They have issues. They are broken. They have good days. They have bad days. They are not perfect. Broken people, hurt people, hurt people. Vicky said their mess is not yours. Dree says, Laura, you are what you choose to believe. Welcome back, Miriam. And they're right. They are absolutely right. You are who you choose to believe you are. No one else. And I know when you've been told that for so long, it's hard to change that. But look at them and think about where they are in life. Not everyone's opinions matters. Your opinion matters. Everyone in this chat, no one in this chat, not one person is without sin, without fault, without a blemish, without a past. Not one person. Not one person. I understand, Laura. I understand. And how it feels or how that felt. But I do understand that you're saying that they've been saying that for over 30 years. Understand that it does take time and it does take work to undo it, but it can be undone. And Laura, if they're still feeding that to you, you said you think I just need to walk away from them. There, if you have to do that, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with walking away from people who mean you no good. There is nothing wrong with that. You have to find your own peace. Hey, Sinmo, thank you for coming in, loves. But yeah, you have to find your own peace. Vicky says, Laura, you are worthy. You are beautiful. I appreciate you. Dree says, Animal, you are a superhero if you choose to believe you are. Don't let their negativity dim your light. And that's the truth. It's their negativity. not yours. Don't own that. Don't own it. And I know it's easier said than done. I know it is. I know it's easier said than done, but it's a slow process. And you can do it, Laura. But what you first have to do is take off all of that guilt, all of that shame, all of that negativity that's been piled on you, and you got to drop it. You got to let it go. You got to remove it. You can't carry that anymore. You can't carry that anymore. That's their pain. That's their worthlessness. That's their fears. They didn't think they could ever be anything else. So because they didn't think they could be anything more or anything else, they didn't think you could be. But you can be. You are. I'm pretty sure you don't tell that to your kids. You talk about how much you love your kids. So I'm pretty sure you're not saying the same thing to them. You're breaking the cycle right there. Separate yourself from those who mean you no good. Put yourself in a place where you can thrive. When if you find yourself around people, when every time you leave from around them, you feel sad and drained, and you feel bad about yourself. Stop going around them. I'm not gonna keep going around somebody who keep beating me up, especially if I know I'm not strong enough yet to fight back. Now, once you go away and you rebuild yourself and you're strong enough to stand toe to toe with them, and their words not have any power over you anymore. Once you're able to do that, then you can go back. But until then, you separate yourself, and you keep telling yourself every day that I'm more than enough. Don't look at anyone else and compare you, because guess what? That person can never be you, and you can never be them. Period. And like we talked about last week, don't look at someone else and compare yourself, because you don't know what they had to go through to get to where they are or what they're going through at that time. Just like we can't look at you and tell you what you're going through. You got a husband and kids who love you. There can be someone right now looking at you like, I wish I had a husband and kids, but they don't know what you're going through over there. And you could be looking at someone thinking, oh man, I wish I felt like that about myself, or I wish I looked like this or like that, whatever. But you don't know what that person feels when they look in the mirror every day, or if they're starving themselves, or what they got on under their clothes to try to make themselves look good, or what lies they're telling themselves, or if, when they go home at night, what's going on or what situation they're going to. You have to walk in your own truth. No, you're not the asshole for moving away. You separated yourself. And truthfully, I'm gonna tell you the truth, boy. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Now, y'all, I am not a therapist. I'm just speaking to you from as a woman to woman. Hey, Marquita, thank you for coming in, boo. I appreciate you for listening. I would stop talking to them. Period. I know it's mama and daddy and family. I didn't say stop loving them. Just because you don't talk to them doesn't mean you don't love them. However, I will separate myself from you, cut your ass off for my peace of mind. I will love you from afar. I will pray for you from afar. But you have to protect your peace. Dree says, I've cut off toxic friends and family. I've been at peace ever since. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to do exactly that. Period. Period. End of story. Do what's best for you. And see, the thing about it is, Laura, sometimes we get caught up in caring more about other people than we care about ourselves. Right now, hey Pamela, thank you for coming in. Your comment says, but they still say it when I call them. But I am the asshole for moving away. You still call them because you said when I call them. Then you also said, I am the asshole for moving away. Who is the asshole? Thank you, G family, for coming through, love. Who told you were the asshole? Those same people, I bet. Stop giving them access to you until you have been able to change the narrative and believe it for yourself. Believe who you really are. Find yourself, find your true happiness. Marquita says, yes, definitely, you definitely have to protect your peace. Hold on, let me go back. Protect your peace. I let go of toxic people. I don't have time for that energy that I could be using for something positive. And people get mad. But what you want me to do? You got to do what's best for you. Hey, niece, thank you for coming in, love. Laura, again, it's about your peace. I cut off an entire side of a family. The entire side of a family. Do you hear me? The whole side. Aunties, uncles, cousins, the babies, all of them. Everybody. All of them. I cut them all off. All of them. And then talked to one of my parents for 3 months. But I did that for my peace of mind. And I was happy. I'm still happy. Because some of them got it together. We were able to work things out. Some of them still with the bull. Guess what? I'm stronger than what I was before. I can deal with them occasionally when I choose to. But I don't allow them to disturb my peace. Dree says, I have a sister I don't speak to. She is so toxic. Most of her kids don't deal with her. Sometimes it be like that. Wayne says, your peace of mind and sanity is the greatest reward. Absolutely. And you cannot feel bad for choosing you. Y'all, the best thing you could do is choose yourself. And when you choose you and you love on you, and then you start looking in the mirror and seeing how much better you look because you're not stressed, stress shows on you. When you're stressed out, when you're worried, when you're frustrated, when you're hurt, it shows. It affects your health. It affects your diet. It affects your sleep. It affects the whole you. It affects the whole you. It rubs off on your family. You have to protect you from the inside out. And if it requires you cutting off those people who like to dig deep, girl, cut them off first. Period. Sometimes it may even be lonely, but hey, that silence will be the best silence you've heard. That's peace. And Laura, you haven't been able to sleep for years because you've held on to their mess. You got to let it go. because that's not yours. It gives them pleasure to make you feel bad because guess what? They don't have shit else. They don't have anything else. They don't have anything else. That's what makes them feel good. They don't look in the mirror and be like, "Oh, I look good today." No, they don't. They use you to uplift themselves. Take that away from them. Force them to have to face themselves in the mirror. You lift yourself up. I'm gonna go work on me. You work on you. Let me read some of these comments. A Wu says, "Yep. Sometimes you just have to create distance." Velvet says, "And animal lover, we as parents have to be careful of the lessons we are teaching our children." Dree says, "Sometimes people have to miss you to see your value. They're lost, not yours." And that's a fact. And now Velvet also says, "Animal lover, I bet they sleeping snug as a bug in a rug." They may be Velvet, but they're doing it at her expense. Take that away from them. Take your power back. Don't give it to them. Take it back. Cut that weight off. They're holding you back. Once you cut them off, you will feel light. Pamela said, "Cutting toxic people out of my life has brought me so much peace. After I did it, I wonder why the hell I didn't do it sooner." And sometimes, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, it's scary as hell cutting people out of your life when you feel like you may be alone because you're so used to having them. G Family says, "The reason we really never think for a second, why can't anyone be so fake or mean or jealous? Because they have never been shown love." Devil says, "Right. That's what I'm saying. She's losing sleep and they ain't losing nothing." Y'all, you have to choose you. You absolutely have to choose you. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be lonely. It's going to be frustrating. It is not easy. All this stuff we're saying in the chat about cutting folks off, man, that shit is hard as hell. It's hard. But guess what? When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, it'll be easy then. But the thing about it is, we don't want you to have to wait till you get to that point. We don't want you to waste any more time. You already said it's been years. Tree says, "Animal, get you an aromatherapy candle, a humidifier, and some sleep sounds. You will sleep great." Laura says, "It was easier for me to tell my husband's family to kick rocks, but it took me 20 years to do it. I put up with too much abuse in my life." Thank you, G Family. But Laura, you said you put up with too much abuse. You don't have to put up with it. You don't have to. You don't have to. They're your family, right? They put those like, "Oh, we always gonna be family." You're right. You're always gonna be family. But we don't always have to put up with it. Thank you, G Family. Miriam says, "I have a sister that was supposed to help me once in a while with mom. When I moved mom in with me 4 years ago or so, so she went out to be in a nursing home. They never, okay, hold up. She never has helped me. Barely sees her." Well, Miriam, I know how that go. My mom kind of experienced the same thing with my granddad. You know, it was a lot of them, and they were supposed to, take turns caring for him. And when it was time to like, help and share the work, they left it all on her. You know, so do what you do. Continue to do what you're doing, Miriam. You'll be rewarded for it. And I know that's hard having to do that. It's a lot. Caring for someone, being a caregiver is really, really tough. It requires a lot of self-sacrifice, and some people aren't willing to do that. But your mom is blessed to have you, Miriam. Definitely know that. She is definitely blessed to have you. You are a blessing, more than you know. Pamela says, don't ever let loneliness bring you back down to the levels you've already leveled up from. Stay busy, meet new people, so new things outside of your see new things outside of your comfort zone. Laura says, I love most of my family from a distance, and way before the social distancing came in effect. Exactly. Rightly, Leomo. I mean, like I said, I cut off a whole side of the family for my peace of mind. G Family says, anytime someone feels sad, you got to go watch Kevin Hart. Uh, let's see, Fluffy and Dave Chappelle. Okay. Animal Lover says, my siblings just put my mom in a nursing home 2 weeks ago after finding her in the tub where she fell and stayed for a whole day. She broke her ribs and had a punctured lung. Oh man. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that, Laura. Sorry to hear that. Miriam says, right. I just make sure she's okay. I don't go out at all. Thank you, Shan. I know God knows my heart. And he does, Miriam. He does. He does. Pamela says prayers, Laura. Now, y'all, I know this has been a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of heavy stuff, y'all. But I want y'all to, you don't take anything away from a lot of stuff that's been talked about in this chat, is that closure, self-worth, healing, being able to get up every day and press forward and move forward. It begins with us. Closure is about the healing process. And we can't depend on others for that. We can't go and look to our family members, our friends, our children, our significant other, spouse. We can't go look into them for our self worth. Because one thing is, people are always subject to change. The world is always changing. Trends are always changing. You're always changing. Your body, your hair, everything is always changing. But you have to be able to love you through it all and know that you deserve the best. Give yourself the best. Don't settle. Now, the truth of the matter is, it's easier said than done. It's so much easier said than done. Ain't that a bitch? We can say it, we can write it, but to do it, we can be on the phone with our friends talking cash shit about how we gonna do this, how we gonna do that, how we're not gonna take this anymore, and we're not gonna take that anymore. But when it's time to do it, when it's time to do it, we start moving slow as hell. But the thing about it, y'all, is that it can be done. It has been done. It has been done. It has been done. So many people have done it. And in most cases, where you are in life right now, You've already been through something. You've already experienced something that you pushed your way through. You made it. You moved right through it. So how about this? Y'all hear me clapping? That's me congratulating you because you've pushed through all of those levels before to get to where you are now. You are not where you used to be. You are not where you used to be. You have leveled up. Laura, even you, even though your family has said all this stuff about you, you are still not where you used to be. Hey, Mama Dale. Thank you for coming in, love. But I'm going to clap for y'all. Clap for yourself. Because you are not where you used to be. You are not who you used to be. I don't care what anyone tell you. Growth. Whether it's big or small, it doesn't matter. And sometimes we have to start over. So yeah, you may used to be on the mountaintop. Now you may be at the bottom. But guess what? When you're at the bottom, that means you get to rebuild, right? That means the old thing that you had that you thought was all shiny and so great, it was broken. Because if it was perfect, you'll still be there. So something was wrong with that. So if you had to start from the bottom, guess what? That just means you got to rebuild, right? You got to be something stronger. God said, no, that ain't what I want for you. That only was meant to last for that season. Now you're in a new season. So you had to tear down that old house, that old building, so we can rebuild from the ground up. So guess what, y'all? I'm clapping for you now because guess what? We on new journeys. We on new missions. We on new breakthroughs, new levels. Time to level up. You can do it. 8247. I don't care what age you are. You can be 10. You can be 20. You can be 50. You can be 90. You are leveling up. You are leveling up. And it's gonna be hard. Now let's be honest. It's gonna be hard. But you can do it though, y'all. You've been doing it. You've been doing it. Look at all of the people you thought you couldn't live without that you're living without. You like, damn, I can't even believe I was stuck on you. And guess what? I'm gone. I'm out of there. Think about that. Think about all of the times you went through something that was embarrassing and you were like, God, Lord, how am I going to make it through this? And you made it. Y'all can do it. You can do it. Vicky says, Lord, just remember this. You have an empowering spirit that they are afraid to see grow. Your strength is intimidating to them. Rise up, boo. Vicky, that's powerful, love. You have an empowering spirit that they are afraid to see grow. Your strength is intimidating to them. Rise up, boo. I think that's a message for everybody in the chat. Vicky said, you have an empowering spirit that they are afraid to see grow. Your strength is intimidating to them. Rise up. So when you have people that are dragging your name through the mud, through the dirt, or coming to you telling you this and that about you, you are intimidating to them. Very much so. You are intimidating to them. Rise up. Rise up. Rise up. They can't handle you. They don't know how to handle your power. They don't know how to handle your glow. Come on in here, Vicky, with the word for the people. Come on in here with the word for the people. People don't want to see you do things, so they try to tear you down. People are afraid of success. So when they see you succeeding, guess what they do? They project their fear onto you. Girl, don't you do that. I heard such and such did it. And when she did it, this happened to her. Well, that ain't me. It wasn't her time. It's my time. Maybe she jumped too soon. I don't know, but her story is not my story. People who are afraid to do things, they don't want you to do them because guess what? They're afraid that you'll succeed. Now, sometimes you got some people that really do care. They want to, they want to give you a warning. But sometimes, but you gotta be honest with yourself. Sometimes it's still their fear. They may truly care about you and don't want you to hurt yourself, but it's still their fear. Sometimes you gotta step out on faith, right? Sometimes you gotta step out on faith. And you can't do that if you're holding on to fear, especially fear that's not your own. If God keeps telling you to jump, why are you listening to this fool sitting over here who can't do nothing for you? And God keeps telling you to go. I'm not listening to Bobo the fool over here when God is clearly saying, go. I got you. But I look like listening to somebody that ain't never did nothing or afraid to do something or still running around in the same circle looking crazy. When God say jump, jump. He speaks to you for your purpose. Your purpose is not theirs. We all have our own mountain and journey and hill to climb and places we got to go and people we got to meet and things we got to do, doorknobs and stuff we got to turn because doors that are opening for you will never open for them. Period. Period. What has my name on it? Has my name on it. I'm going to get mine. You can see it look crazy if you want to. I'm going to get mine. I'm sure yours will still be sitting there whenever you decide to get up off your butt and go get it. Right, Mama Dale? Absolutely. Y'all, I just want y'all to reflect on it. Reflect on that for a minute. So just kind of going back over this thing of closure. Again, we see closure because we're looking for forgiveness or we're looking for someone to apologize. Sometimes we may never get that. Sometimes we're looking for self-worth. Sometimes we avoid it because we don't want to feel guilty or admit to fault. Sometimes we seek it out because we're brokenhearted and we're looking for a way to ease the pain. When in fact, both of y'all are broken and both of you have to heal. Sometimes we're seeking closure because we're wanting a particular person to behave a way they aren't equipped to. Sometimes we're looking for closure because we've lost a loved one and we never got to say I'm sorry or I love you or say goodbye. And truthfully, the truth is they probably again felt the same way and they probably forgave you and never told you because they were too stubborn, both of y'all too stubborn, but you loved each other anyway. Sometimes you were just a different person. Sometimes both you and that person, y'all were broken. You were hurt. So you did stupid stuff. You said stupid stuff. You accepted stupid things. You did stupid things. You allowed yourself to go through things that you knew that just wasn't right, but you allowed it anyway. And the only closure you need, you will find within yourself. The only closure you need, you will find within you. No one can give it to you. No one can give it to you. Period. No one can give it to you. That's right, Muck. The key is within. Your self worth, you determine that. Forgiveness is for you. Forgive yourself. Forgive that person who hurt you. Forgive yourself for allowing yourself to go through that. Forgiveness is for you, it's not for them. It's for you. Going to someone who didn't find you worthy and looking for them to tell you that you're worthy so you can feel better about why you separated. Don't get mad at me for saying this, but that sounds crazy to me. Why would I go to someone who didn't see my worth in the beginning, looking for them to help ease the pain or tell me why they didn't find me worthy? What? I know I'm a good woman. Why would I listen to this fool who couldn't recognize it? Why am I going to go to the person who clearly couldn't see my worth? Why am I going to go to the person who couldn't satisfy me? Because if they could satisfy me, we would still be together. I wouldn't be feeling this way. There is no way I want to spend my life trying to make a person see my worth. Sometimes when we go back for closure, what we're really looking for is for acceptance. We're afraid of being rejected. We people hate rejection. So you're not looking for closure. You just don't want to be rejected. Sometimes the best thing a person can do for you is to let you go. And the best thing you can do for you is to let them go. That shit hurts. It hurts and it's uncomfortable. But that's the best thing you can do for you. And that's the thing. You have to do what's best for you, y'all. Period. But y'all, now y'all know I try to stay on for 2 hours. But when I start getting low on my words, I'll be ready to check out on y'all. But let me read some of these comments. Laura says, I am used to rejection. Mama Dale says, yes, never give them the power to take it. That's right. Muck says, you know what, Shin? I've let things go that hurt me before. Do what's best for you. Absolutely. So true. And who said so true? And that's the thing, y'all. Doing what's best for you. Not what's best for others, what you think other people want you to do. Stop doing. Stop doing things for other people. Put you first. I'm still here, Muck. I'm not rushing off. Look, I always in the chat somewhere. As soon as I got ready to say something, here she come. But I appreciate you, Mook. Thank you. Thank you for rocking with me, love. And I want to thank those of you who are still in the chat rocking with me. Thank y'all for that. Because, I mean, yo, it's some stuff we need to hear. Period. As Colin said, let them walk out your life. Right. That's the best thing they can do for you. Sometimes we be holding on to people that, that just don't mean us any good. Like, you will hurt yourself. Man, sometimes, let me tell y'all this. Sometimes you can be trying to hold on to a person and God will be telling you, I mean, he will be screaming at you, telling you, throwing you all kinds of signs, hitting you all upside your head, telling you that this person is no good for you. I mean, wearing your head out. When I say wearing your head out, I mean, it be all kind of stuff coming out of the woodwork. They being said stuff to you. They got, if you're in a relationship, it can be infidelity, it can be disrespect, it can be abuse. And we'll still hold on. And God is trying to snatch you out of it. And for some reason, for some strange, crazy, out of my mind, out of your mind, must be a damn fool. I don't know, some reason we want to hold on. Let these souls go. They're not worth your peace of mind. Right, Miriam? Be stubborn as hell. Red flags everywhere. And the thing about it is, it's a red flag. But because you like the way the person look, because people tell y'all, oh, y'all will be good together. Because the sex is bomb. Let's be honest. They got money. Or you've been with them a while. Sometimes relationships aren't meant to last. You're meant to learn something from them and move on. We still hold on. Thank you, Muck. Sometimes we still hold on, y'all. But you got to let that thing go. And you'll be better for it. And see, sometimes when you've been hurt and you've been going through a lot of stuff and you find yourself, you eventually start letting it go. When you get to that point to where you're starting to find closure for yourself and you're not dependent on other people, you'll start seeing a whole different type of woman or man. You'll start seeing that you walk different, you sleep different, you feel different about yourself. You start focusing on you and making you a better person. You start realizing that you have likes and loves and interests that you didn't realize that you had before because you were so tied into foolishness and BS with someone else that you should have been let go of. As Colin says, I had to learn to put myself first. And it's hard to do. It's hard to do. It really is. Because you feel guilty for doing it when you've been so used to putting other people before yourself. And as Colin suggests, God will give you signs. Girl, he'll give you all kinds of signs. Mama Dale said, sometimes we are scared of the unknown and we are uncomfortable with them. But I have to release it. You have to release it if you want God's best for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the absolute truth, Mama Dale. Sometimes we are holding on to something so tight and don't realize that all we're doing is prolonging God's blessing. Seriously, you can be asking God for something right now, praying to God, God, send me this. God, I just want to be happy. God, I just want to be this. And I just want to be that. And he like, you keep asking me for all this. I'm trying to give it to you, but you won't let that food go. I'm trying to give it to you, but you won't step out on faith. I keep trying to give it to you, but you too busy crying. I keep trying to give it to you, but you won't move. Faith is there without work. You sitting there in that puddle of self-pity. Get up. I keep telling you to get up. Get up. Move, but you won't listen. You sitting right there. Listen to him, y'all. Listen to him. He wants to give you everything that you're asking for. But sometimes you be in your own way. God laughs at your plans. You be like, yeah, I want to do this and I want to do that. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. God be like, look at this child of mine. Talking about she want this and talking about she want that. If I gave it to her right now, she'll cry because she wouldn't be able to handle it. That part, Muck. Muck said we get confused and try to help God do his job. And he'll laugh at us too. It's just like when kids try to help you clean up and they grab the broom and they don't sweep nothing. And you be like, thank you, baby. Then you finally take the broom from them and you go and sweep it up for real. Yeah. He'd be like, okay, go ahead. All right, now you done? Okay, thank you. And then he go ahead and do it for you. Sometimes you just be in the way. Listen to him. He'll tell you what to do. He'll tell you how to move. He'll tell you when to move. He'll tell you when someone is no good. Man, y'all quit praying to God and don't listen when he tell you. I've done that before. I'm like, Lord, give me a sign. He give me a sign. Okay, Lord, I don't know if that was a sign for real. So can you give me another sign? He give me another sign. Well, Lord, I don't know if that was me. That may have just been my imagination. Maybe I'm making that a sign. Can you give me another sign? And at this time, let me know that it's a sign by telling me it's a sign. Well, then somebody come to you and say, the Lord told me to tell you this. And I'll be like, well, I don't know if you really know the Lord. I don't know where God you praying to. So we find ways to not hear him. And he'll be all in your face. It's a story, y'all. And I can't remember if this is exactly how it goes, but I'm going to say it. There was this man who was in a boat in the ocean, and his boat flipped over. And it sank or whatever, something. And he in the water, he's drowning. He's drowning. But he's like, you know what? God gonna save me. God gonna save me. So he's flailing his arms or whatever, trying to stay on top of the water because he know God gonna save him. So a boat come by and they say, hey man, you need an help. Nope. God gonna save me. God gonna save me. So that boat keeps going. So he's still flipping, still trying not to drown. God gonna save me. God gonna save me. God sends another boat back. Hey, sir, you need help? Nope. I'm good. God gonna save me. God gonna save me. God gonna save me. Then he sends a third boat. Hey man, you need help? Nope, I'm good. God gonna save me. God gonna save me. Boom. The man drowned, right? He get to heaven. He like, yeah, God, I thought you was gonna come save me. He said, fool, I sent you 3 boats. God will send you help. He will send you help. He sent the man 3 boats, but he too busy. God gonna save me. God gonna save me. He sent you help. But you was too busy being stuck in your mess to listen, to recognize him. Because the help didn't come the way you wanted it. because the help didn't come the way you thought it was supposed to come. God will give you the desires of your heart, but sometimes it may not come packaged the way that you want it. He may slow walk it because you're not ready for it all at once. He got to strengthen you for it. So be patient. Trust God, because trusting yourself is what got you in the mess in the first place. Period. Pooh. But he'll get you out of it if you listen. You can stay there for a week or you can stay there for years. It all depends on how long you take to move and listen. Closure is up to you. Your self worth and identity is up to you. Your healing is up to you. Your living is up to you. It's up to you, y'all. It's up to you. It's up to you. Remember, we're all changing. We're all growing. We're all leveling up. We're not where we used to be or who we used to be. And sometimes we have to start over so that we can get ready for the next level. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to walk it alone because 9 times out of 10, you're not alone. And as a matter of fact, you're never alone because God is always with you. And sometimes you have to go alone to go where He's taking you because other people will hold you back. And your journey is not theirs. Be encouraged. Love on yourself. Separate yourself from those who mean you no good, those who are toxic. Cut those strings, cut those ties, and watch yourself be light as a feather and watch you float right on up to the top. Watch you begin to breathe better. Your skin begin to glow because you're no longer stressed. You're sleeping at night. You're not mean and snappy all the time. All of a sudden, you're starting to hum nice little cute songs. You're smiling more. Your coworkers are asking, "Ooh, what got into you?" Your kids are asking, "What got into you?" It's peace of mind. No more. No more allowing people to come to you and project their fears onto you. No more giving people power over you. No more looking to other people for self worth. No more thinking that you need closure from other people. If you hurt someone, tell them you're sorry. If they forgive you, that's awesome. If they don't, that's their healing process they need to go through. You forgive yourself. You recognizing that what you did was wrong is your healing. You recognizing that what you did was hurtful, that's your growth. So when someone try to tell you you ain't this, you ain't that, no, no, you're wrong. I'm not that anymore. I'm not what I used to be. I don't look like what I've been through. I've leveled up. I've leveled up. I've leveled up. Y'all, I want y'all to take this week's live. And if you haven't listened to this week's live, run it back. If you missed last week's live, run it back. If you missed the one before that, run it back. Because there's some growth that needs to be done. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care what you're going through. We all need reminders. God is always taking us to the next level. You don't have to cry no more. You don't have to worry no more. It doesn't have to hurt anymore. Let it go. Give it to God. You don't have to carry that weight no more. It's not yours. It's not yours. It was never yours. It was never yours. So I don't know if Laura is still in the chat. Hey, do tell. I think I spoke to you when you came in. Can't remember, but if not, hey again. But Laura, tell your folks no more. Cut off that toxic stuff. Focus on you, love on you. No more looking to them for self-worth. And even if Laura isn't in here, this is for all of us. Release that thing. Let it go. All right, y'all. Well, we've come to the end of the live. We got about a good 5 minutes left, and I'm going to shut this thing down. I want to thank y'all for coming in here and having this great conversation. I want to thank Vicky and Velvet, Mama Dale, D. I want to thank y'all for coming in here. Wings, B Charmer, Science in there. A lot of y'all came in here and dropped some gems down in the chat. Miriam, this is our life. Leon, I want to thank y'all. Lord, thank y'all for coming in and being vulnerable and open. Thank you, Bambi. I want to thank all of y'all for coming in here and being open and vulnerable and sharing with one another, uplifting one another. That's what I want us to be able to do out here in these streets, because we are all going through something. We've all been through it at one point or another in our life. And if we haven't been through it yet, we don't know. It may be coming. But this will give us an opportunity to prepare ourselves or help a family member or a friend or our children. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are beautiful women. Y'all, some of y'all crazy, got a little pettiness in y'all, but that's what I love about y'all. Look. Thank you, Awu. Thank you. So I'm definitely gonna say a prayer for everybody that if anyone is out there still looking for closure, I pray that you find it. I pray that you get it. I pray that God gives you peace and give you understanding. I pray that He open your mind and your heart to receive Him and His love and His peace and His anointing, and that His Holy Spirit comforts you at night when you're in your bed thinking about things and the stress and the worries and what's going to happen tomorrow, whether or not your kids are going to be okay or safe, or what the world holds for us, because there's so much going on. I pray and ask that God gives you peace. I pray that God comforts you I pray that he continues to be a provider. I pray that the heavens are opened up for us and that his blessings and his anointing pours down upon our lives, Lord God, and that his favor is upon each and every one of you and your children. I pray that when people look at you, they see a glow and they don't understand what it is about you because it's the favor of God that's shining upon you so much that they can't do anything but bless you. That's the kind of favor that I'm asking that God place upon your lives. Walking in his grace, walk in his mercy, walk in his protection and in his love. Love on others. You never know what others are going through. They don't know what you're going through. Love on each other. Pray for one another. Don't hold hate or resentment in your heart because that prevents you from receiving him. It also prevents closure. You can't hold a man down without staying down with him, so let it go. The battle is not yours, it's God's. Hold on to his hand. He'll never lead you into a path of destruction. Trust him. I pray this prayer for everyone that's been in this chat tonight and everyone that comes in contact with the people that were in this chat. Blessings by association. I pray that the anointing and the favor of God be so strong that anyone who is in your circle will be blessed. And in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I thank you, Lord God, right now for all of it. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Receive it, y'all. We've hit our 2-hour mark. And I pray God just, y'all, closure. I'm going to pray that God gives us closure because some of us need it. We still need it. And I pray that he gives it to us. Y'all have a great night, all right? I love y'all. Have a good night, everybody.